Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Arty having a discussion with Freedom Unchained. Now this video I had to break down into two parts because there's the beginning where they actually try to have a discussion about words and the court system, and then in part two, which is coming later, they'll be discussing some actual court cases that Freedom Unchained uses to kind of prove their point, even though they're using the court cases that the Supreme Court has ruled on, even though they don't want the Supreme Court. Typical. Anyways, I'll just leave you guys here to take a look and watch Arty dismantle this guy. Have fun.
Welcome to the live stream where I having a discussion with Freedom Unchained. By the way, dude, I think you gotta unmute yourself if you can't. You don't know. And you know we already. You're still on mute. Oh, are you?
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. We already had a couple of videos with each other, and we both agreed to kind of instead of doing reply videos over and over and over again, one after the other. Let's cut the middleman and have a live discussion.
You know, most people come. We're taught we're American, right? And our Constitution, protects our freedoms and stuff like that. I think I always struggle with that idea that I don't actually have as much freedoms as what they teach us in schools and stuff like that. The time when this kind of got me triggered was when in 2016 I learned about Bitcoin, and I learned the power of the blockchain, and I was like, man, this is great technology. This is going to be able to help guide freedom or empower us even more and stuff like that. So I didn't really get started looking into that kind of stuff until common law and stuff until my brother actually, he less freedom minded as me. He got married and then had children, like a lot of people, and then got divorced, and then he didn't want the government to pretty much tell him how to support his children. He wanted to support his children. He just didn't want he wanted it to be a fair agreement between. I don't. You'd have to ask him, but anyway,
Right.
He got me into. Well, he introduced me to the word common law, and that kind of where I went down the rabbit hole of that. And with YouTube back in the day in 2016, before they started censoring everybody, and the algorithm was really good. You can go from one rabbit hole to the next rabbit hole to the next rabbit hole.
But so what I do, and I know we already had our back and forth, and we obviously already have our preconceived kind of ideas. But I'm an attorney. I'm licensed in the state of New Jersey and New York. I've been an attorney for about 10 years now, going on 11 years. And, I've found this sort of ideology kind of fascinating to me when I first kind of discovered it, probably around 7 years ago, 2013, where these ideas about the law and sovereignty and how my entire profession is part of a satanic cult. I didn't learn that one in my first year of law school. I didn't learn that I was relinquishing my citizenship by becoming an esquire. So these are all fascinating new things to me. So I was kind of curious to see what it's all about. So that's where, and oftentimes I look at it and I see it, and in my line of work and my basis and my experience of researching this, and oftentimes, and actually all the time, I have yet to see these kinds of arguments, have merit when challenged. Now, I imagine that, and from watching Paul's live stream yesterday, he doesn't seem to care whether or not the courts agree with him. He's pretty much set in his ways on what his beliefs are. Yeah, so see, that's where we're going to get to. So, so that's where I'm coming from. They both talked about the court cases that you claim that SCOTUS, even though you guys don't believe in SCOTUS having any authority in the first place, you believe that SCOTUS has agreed with your common law understanding. So that's where I'm coming from tonight. But as I said before, I'll let you get the ball rolling.
I don't think either of us really know facts or law or anything. So like, instead of like trying to argue, maybe we'll just be like, well, this is what I believe in, or my beliefs are, instead of using like, well, the facts are.
My problem with that, when in the email that you sent me earlier, talking about this, my problem that I have with that is if you and Paul are going to, make certain declarations, specifically a point of fact that this U.S. Supreme Court case says, quote, X, Y, and Z in support of our position, I'm going to challenge you on that. If I can find that, what the actual quotes of the court actually says. So I'm not going to let that kind of thing go, especially when Paul and yourself use it extensively. You had it in your description in your YouTube video. Paul has an entire video with the exact same quotations on there. And he uses it as an authority, even though he ultimately doesn't recognize SCOTUS as an authority. So why is he doing it in the first place? I don't know. So that's I'm not going to let that go simply because.
Let me answer that for you. The reason why we use their laws and rules is because it helps us to kind of get them to kind of understand that, or get them to start thinking about things, and it starts a conversation like what was happening in Paul's thing, and it keeps us from getting thrown out of the car and arrested and all that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of more of a protection. But a lot of people, there's a lot of people that are like, well, this code says, and then they're not using the words they're not defining that as their code. That's like a lot of the sovereign citizens. I'm on the same boat as you. I believe the sovereign citizens are the people that are way far off of what I believe.
And this is one of the biggest myths that I keep on hearing with most groups in this community. I do not need to be a member of any bar association. I'm not a member of the ABA, American Bar Association. I'm not a member of the New York State Bar Association. I'm not a member of the New Jersey State Bar Association. My license, my authorization to practice law is governed by the judiciary, by the courts. It's not a private membership organization that has sole fealty on who gets to practice law. It's the judiciary. It's the arm of, the state government that is, in theory, controlled, under the purview of the people. So it's not a private club that is gatekeeping the practice of law.
I believe the same thing. I'm a man. I don't need a license to go defend, or I don't even want to defend myself, go stand up for my rights in court. You know what I mean? I don't need somebody to go represent me. We'll go about wording and everything, but people talk about this right here, the Black's Dictionary. This is not an official dictionary. Most of these words are not words because they use two words and then they act like that's a word and they put a definition after. It's a word. If you want to put two words, you put a dash between it. In my indoctrination camp, my school, I was in special ed. I was horrible in reading and spelling. Okay. But I was amazing in everything else.
So that's why I harped on it over and over again against you and Paul relying on these cases, when I'm going to sit here and say to you that I'm willing to bet that none of you guys have actually looked up any of these cases in full.
Yeah, you're probably right, because some judges would agree, a charge, they will give you a charge, and all you have to do is pick out one of those words, and you can make that charge null and void. But
there's a thing called cherry picking.
But you also have a thought which ends with a period. If you want to continue, then you have colons and dashes. I'm bad. Like I said, I'm bad with English language and stuff like that.
But it's not about grammatical. It's not about grammatical issues. It's about being misleading, not taking an entirety of a case, trying to take a singular quote out of it as here it is. Here's this grand case that supports my narrative. When by not looking and not paying attention to other aspects of the case, you find that not only is it irrelevant to the issues at hand, it may actually be contradictory to your case. And that's usually a thing that's frowned upon by attorneys when they try to pull that shit. And so I went through all the cases in your description, as well as all the cases which were the same as the ones that Paul did, and I looked them up. And I want to at least go through a few of them.
But like this, I don't really want to get into this kind of stuff.
Well, here's the problem, dude. I'm going to tell you. Well, here's the reason why I want to get into this. The reason why I want to get into this is both you and Paul repeatedly held it. Paul called me out. Paul called me out. You called me out, saying, "Hey, these cases all support us, man. Why don't you debunk them?" Well, here I am. I'm debunking them.
Court world before there was a constitution of the United States.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. English common law.
Because what I believe a court there's a claim, and you write who the party that you're claiming something against, and then you write your claim down, and then you have, which is pretty much like the rules of the court. You've probably been in the court more than me, but you probably haven't seen much court stuff outside of corporate fiction, which is what I call it. You might not have studied the quantum grammar group good enough.
If you're asking me, do I find them legitimate? No, I don't. I don't find this idea that truth can be discerned through math. By turning words and syntax into math, because that's not how language works.
What do you think this universe is? That's how we understand what law is. We come to a understanding of what law is through mathematics. Our scientists don't use mathematics to come up with a conclusion to something. And then they come together and they be like, "Oh, my conclusion is kind of the same as your conclusion, and this guy's conclusion is kind of the same as my conclusion. So we're going to kind of call that law." But like they're not making law; they're trying to interpret law.
No.
Let's go back. Get the government out of your mind. Let's just focus on the word. Like a dictionary. This is not my dictionary. This is not your dictionary. This is the bar's dictionary. I got another dictionary over here. This is not. I haven't made the quantum grammar people have made a dictionary, so when they bring things to court, they can be specific on words.
Yes, I get you. All words are made up. Thank you, Thor.
Don't you understand that a court has to understand the language that you speak? They can get an interpreter.
No.
I gotta get an interpreter.
No, the court will offer you an interpreter.
Because that's their court. Fuck their court.
Yeah. If you're going to, I'm sorry. If the quantum
in their court, I'll open my own fucking court.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. If you're going to file shit with their court, guess what? You got to follow their procedure.
We are like using their vessel, which is the courthouse.
Please don't tell me you're going to go into maritime admiralty this early. Come on, man.
Man come bring a complaint against another man. In the Bible,
they killed each other. Or you can bring your three peers and then you can beat the shit out of them to get your stuff back. But guess what, dude? Thanks to that evil thing called government, you can't do that anymore.
The way you treat people changes.
You're right. We have now learned that we don't take the law into our own hands.
There's a box of paper.
Oh my God! You
put the square little brackets. That means like.
Are you talking about the pleadings form?
No. Why would I ever have a form? Why would I form myself into something else?
Oh my fucking god! You know what I'm talking about, dude. Please don't be dishonest.
No, I truly could. What? I'm ignorant.
I mean, I'm not denying that. So let's go back to our analogy. You say that if you make a claim against me that I supposedly stole something from you, your solution is to make a declaration at a local common area of your township, what have you.
It'd be a claim.
Claim, complaint, same thing.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is the same thing.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm not bitching at anybody.
It's called a complaint, for fuck's sake.
Fuck you, dude. No, it's not.
Do you not know? Do you not have a thesaurus?
You can't put words in my fucking mouth.
Do you not have a thesaurus?
That's who's thesaurus? I'll go pull up the quantum grammar thesaurus.
A regular thesaurus. Any thesaurus.
Who's regular thesaurus? I got plenty of them. They tell you different fucking things. You take everything someone hands you and like, okay, that's fact. I'll hand you something. You're just gonna be like, okay.
Are you serious?
So this is not an official American flag. For
Okay.
one, the size is not properly. For another, it's black and fucking white. Those goddamn badges the fucking police wear with a goddamn blue line. What the fuck are they representing? That's a goddamn gang sign. And
are we gonna refocus on courts, or are you gonna change the subject again?
these people are stupid. Your sovereign. This is what you need to be debunking. Is these people are fucking stupid? They're trying to bring their court decisions in another entity's court.
Mm-hmm.
Get your fucking shit out of my court. Don't trespass on my court. People don't even know what the fucking trespass means.
Then stop.
Trespass does not mean.
Then stop. Well, if you don't want people to trespass on your court, then stop filing shit there.
But that is not what court is. Like, there's many entities functioning in that building. The problem is the language that you use determines which entity you're going to work. Are you going to work with the people that court is actually built for, or are you going to work with the corporation that has took that court over and turned it into a fucking devil worshipping cultist?
When did they take it over?
Dictatorship. I don't give a fuck when they took it over. You're not getting the point. A court is not a building. A court is just one man bringing another fucking claim against another man. That is a goddamn court. If you do it properly and you don't fuck.
No, it doesn't. Every single time.
Sovereign citizens fuck up. 99% of sovereign citizens fuck up.
100%.
You call them sovereign citizens.
100%.
Even I went to court and I fucked up. I went into their jurisdiction plenty of times, but I got pulled out of their jurisdiction. Okay, my believing of pretrial is that the two parties are coming together to understand the rules.
If you're talking about a criminal proceeding, you're talking about an arraignment, and that's where the judge is like, you have been charged with X, Y, and Z. It faces a maximum penalty of so many months in jail and $1,000 fine. Huh?
What is a crime?
Are you serious?
Okay.
So
my belief of a crime is if I have caused harm, injury, or loss to another man.
That's your opinion.
Okay, that's your opinion of what you thought. You think the legislation makes up laws and they are allowed to call anything a crime. How is that fair in society when a made-up entity that's made by man then can go then make up more rules and then throw you in fucking jail because they made up goddamn rules and then commit a crime? Why is that fair? That is not fair because that is not how the system is. You think that's how the system is, but it's not.
Well, I don't know if you've taken civics, but in this country, there are ways of. Oh, of course you did.
Like, I don't believe in the Bible. I believe this is a good grounds to be moral and do well and good to your man. But I don't believe like anything that the interpretation of that Bible.
I don't know what the Bible has anything to do with what we're discussing. But I hate to break it to you, but in addition to, if you want to say, there is founding upon a belief in the Creator, the Constitution also, creates government on how government's supposed to operate. So I don't know why you keep on saying, well, look to the Constitution, and whereas it still has Article 1, which establishes a Congress, Article 2, which establishes an executive, and they're supposed to have powers. Those powers.
What do they do?
What?
And what do those branches do? That's what you think it is. It's not a law.
It is a law. These are laws. By every sense of the word, it's still their laws.
It's because they change the fucking meaning of words and they indoctrinate you, and you think it's a fucking law.
You realize that's you realize the term.
We'll go back to the Constitution.
You realize that statutes. You realize that the term statutes predated the Constitution, right?
A fucking statute is something you go that stands with it's fucking like, and you go like,
bro, I said statute. No, well, I mean, dude, you've been switching topics like every 5 minutes, man. Verified means that the cop is signing on to the statements and statements that he made when he sends it to the court. Verified meaning it has a signature.
It has a curse on it.
A signature.
A curse.
Oh my God, cursive writing is now a curse.
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, here's the thing. I don't give a flying fuck about your rules of court.
Okay, that's great. But when I bring a claim against,
and guess what? The court's not going to give a shit either because the court operates. The court that we understand operates under different rules than you. The court.
Yes, but it's not. It's not the official court. It's
it is. Of course it is.
Court of the land. It's not any of that bullshit.
Oh, of course it is. Yep. Okay. To use to enforce the law.
If I got enough men with, that's why we have a fucking right to bear arms, is so we can get enough fucking men together to fucking make sure those people don't.
Well, here's but here's the thing: the difference between your men with guns and the sheriff's officers is that at least with the sheriff's officers there's a level of oversight.
That's what you think. But I can oversight my people well enough.
How?
As long as my men have morals.
I don't trust you.
To keep the fucking peace. I don't give a fuck.
I don't fucking trust you.
You don't have to contract with me. The Constitution protects contract.
Oh, okay. And then if you accuse me of stealing something that I don't think is correct, what happens?
You go through court, but not your building court.
What? But if I choose.
And he opens court. He opens court.
If I choose to tell you to fuck off, you're gonna get your men with guns, aren't you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, but
you proved my point.
It doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Why? Who's gonna be
talking about is still
who's wrong? But who decides who is right and wrong? Who decides who's right and wrong in that situation?
Well, unfortunately, it's the most people with guns.
Exactly. Thank you for describing your dystopian future.
If I release my blockchain and you can't fucking stop it, and people start using it, and they empower themselves to have fucking guns, and they go out and start fucking doing everything your fucking government is doing, is that good or is that bad?
Wait, are you saying you're going to attack me with Bitcoin?
Is that natural person with a dash in between it? Because that one word.
No, natural person.
That's two different thoughts.
No, it's not. A natural person. I'm not buying into your quantum syntax bullshit.
Hold on,
I am not letting you buy into your quantum syntax bullshit.
How can you use person in the same fucking definition as person?
When you go to natural person is to delineate somebody who is not a corporation. Because if there is no common understanding of Because if there's no common understanding on the meaning of words, we're not going to be able to communicate with each other.
That is what court is for.
So far, this court that we're having is being a complete shit show. The judge was given that authority by the people.
What people? Show me the people. I want it to be a man can go in there and be like, I did not do what this man said I did to him.
This is the level.
I did do what this man said I did to him, and let me pay him back.
This is fucking fairy tale logic, man.
Your corporate fiction is fairy tale logic.
You're harkening back to a time when executions were the norm for any crime that was alleged at somebody.
Anything.
You want to go back to the biblical era.
You want to be, if I get someone steals something from me, most of the time I'm okay with them. Okay, you do you, okay, man? Like, I believe in karma is going to come back and bite your ass in the ass.
Bitch, if you take my PlayStation 5, I'm gonna want retribution for that.
Man, if you can't work with society, then fucking leave. Go somewhere else. Go fuck with that.
Well,
If you go harm somebody and kill somebody or do something, or you piss off somebody enough they feel like they're gonna take your life.
So you know what? I could also say the same thing for
society.
I could also say the same thing for you. If you can't really handle society as it is, can you at least acknowledge the fact that there's going to be some assholes in the world who's not going to give a shit? Okay,
Yes,
so
I do. And that's
do you
what we have court for?
and do you think that they
don't understand what court is?
do you
it's a
think
goddamn building made by government?
and do you
It's
think
not.
do you think they need to be punished? They should be punished for what they did.
Who's gonna punish them though?
Exactly my point.
How? Punish how? What do you call punishment? Lock them up? Kill them? What do you call whip them? I do not believe in it. Most of that, no. I believe if someone done wrong to somebody else, then make that man whole. Do what is right. It's right for you to repay what you've taken from somebody.
How am I going to be?
If you can't be part of this community, then get the fuck out.
How am I going to be made whole when somebody killed my father?
The court.
How? How is the court going to make me whole? My father's dead.
The killing thing, I have a hard time actually. I don't know my beliefs on that.
My father's not my property, and I'm not my father's property. Don't.
What's your property? Something you create, correct?
It's a human being is not fucking property. Are you fucking serious?
Because you think property is this fucking indoctrinated definition in your fucking dictionary. That is what you fucking.
Human beings are not property, asshole.
Property. Learn what property is.
Fuck yourself. A human being is not property. We fought a fucking war to figure that out.
Okay? When you expel your energy, then you exchange it for a currency. That is what words mean. Fucking something. It's the same thing as electricity. Currency going through a wire. That's what currency is passing electricity back and forth. Energy. My energy, when I pass it back and forth, I'm using a currency to exchange an energy. So words fucking mean something, dude.
I'm pretty sure currency was a word before the term current became a thing as terms of electricity.
Okay, but there's a reason they use the word currency for electricity.
I didn't create my parents.
You didn't manifest them into the world, but you created them as father and mother, because without you, they cannot be a father or a mother.
They identified themselves to me when I was a toddler that they're my mom and dad.
So now they're making up definitions of what mother and father are?
Only because that's how, in the English language, mother and father are intended to be termed as such. No, the problem is you're making it very difficult for us to have a conversation. That's what I'm saying. You keep on second guessing really normal, everyday language that people understand, except apparently for you.
Because they indoctrinated you.
And your own little world. Again, you say it's all indoctrinated. Maybe it's you who's the crazy one.
Okay, so go back to your legal thing. You're talking about them being satanic goddamn worshipers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not think they have changed? They manipulated our language to make us believe different things, to get us into their fucking devil worshiping society? Or go along with their fucking killing everybody? You just go along with every fucking thing somebody gives you?
Lawyer,
it's written down on a goddamn piece of paper?
Are lawyers killing people in droves or something? What are you trying to say here?
Yeah, they fucking are, dude. You send people to prison where they get fucking killed, where they lose their lives. You're taking somebody's life away from them, even if you put them in jail or you just fucking kill them. Is that not fucking really killing somebody?
Well, that's part of the administration of justice, right?
You don't need a fucking lawyer to go prosecute somebody for a crime.
But you've already.
If somebody's so harmful, then yes, it has the society has a right to lock that person up because you can't control them anymore.
But then who does the locking up?
The people do. But
a mob.
The people create the government.
So the mob.
The fucking fucking mob is vote. You vote, you're a fucking mob, dude.
So the mob with guns will
mob rules. Yeah,
take the guy.
Right now. So that's where you love. You love to be fucking controlled by the goddamn mob.
No, actually, no. You've been describing.
I'd rather have the fucking mob that the government is against because they have fucking more morals than goddamn government.
No, you've been describing mob rule this entire time.
As somebody calls mob, the
You've been describing mob rule this entire time.
Individuals that come together and say, "I believe this. You should not do this." Okay? No, I'm not.
And who decides?
A group of people.
And who decides that?
Do you understand the difference between peers? Like what peers?
Under what authority does these civilized people get to dictate what's good and what's not?
Their collectiveness. So if you want to be collective.
Oh, so you mean like people who vote for a legislator? I think it's painfully obvious that you don't know what the Constitution says. I do not have property rights over my mother's body. I have no property rights over my father's person, his body. I don't have those rights.
No, you don't.
Then why the fuck are you calling people property? In normal, everyday parlance, understand is the same thing as comprehend.
Yeah,
I know.
Is that what is parlance? The king's court, the queen's
Christ.
court?
Oh my God, dude.
Court?
I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't be using SAT words with you. I need to dump it down.
The other man doesn't have 10 people on his side either.
Okay, so then.
That's your logic.
Okay, thank you. We're back to we are back to describing mob rule and warring factions. Congratulations.
I am fine with fucking that. If you go out and you kill somebody and you can't be fucking turned into a man once again.
And then what happens?
You love people.
If I can't do that, what happens? What happens?
Go ahead and lock them up. I'm fine.
Oh, finally! Thank you for reintroducing the prison system. We're getting somewhere.
Enforcement. You do not need policy enforcement officers with fucking guns to do that.
We are already well on our way to becoming back to what we are right now. And this is, and thank you for very much.
You guys are not functioning in. The corporation is not functioning in. You believe you're functioning in the side that we've created. You're not. You're lying to yourself. You're indoctrinated, and you're fucking lying to yourself. You're immoral. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
So I'm glad that you've now reinvented the prison system. At the end of the day, I appreciate that, man.
That is what's fucking running our fucking world right now is the devil and
the evil evil Satanists are coming back on us. You're relying on hopes, dreams, and wishes for your civil society to work. That hopefully somebody, if they're convicted by a jury of their peers, they're gonna be like, you know what? I'm sorry, a jury of my peers, they found me guilty. What am I gonna do? And just accept the punishment. The level of naivety that has to go into that is adorable. I feel like that's very innocent of you, but people are assholes in this world.